welcome to an Everyday Canines video. In this video for the Pup to Pro series, we've had a dog swap because Magpie was getting very tired in the other videos we'd filmed, so we've switched her out and Swift's having a turn, aren't you, girlie? And we're talking about tunnels, starting that tunnel drive, tunnel value. Tunnels are obviously a vital part of an agility course, and they usually become a dog's favourite thing. What's nice about a tunnel that I like is that once your dog gets a good drive for a tunnel, you can send them up to a tunnel and get where you need to be next. But it's building that initial value, and I'm going to show you a couple of ways to do this, and it is slightly trickier to do this when you're on your own and you're using a normal sized tunnel. This is a 3-metre tunnel, by the way. The easiest way to begin building up tunnel value is to have a second person to come and help you, and they'll hold the dog at this end of the tunnel, probably even with their head in the tunnel, and you'll go to the other end of the tunnel and you'll show them through the tunnel entrance. You'll show them the toy, or in this case it's a treat ball, so they can see it, and you call them, have them run through. Now, it doesn't take long for most dogs to pick up what you want to do, so let's show you what that looks like. He's going to hold her. Swift's on a harness for this. I'm going to be here. She's looking in the tunnel. I am looking in the whole tunnel. I can see her head is there. I'm seeing her. I'm showing her the toy. Swift, get it. I didn't say tunnel because at this stage I just wanted her to run through it. Now, a few repetitions of that, and your dog's gonna, with rewards at the end, it doesn't take long for your dog to go, oh, I get this. So that is probably the easiest way to start off with getting the dog to do a tunnel. But what happens if you don't have a second person, or, you know, I mean, we've been in lockdown, tail end of lockdown, it might not be possible that you've had a second person to assist you. How can we do things when we haven't got that? And I must admit, that was something that annoyed me when I was just starting this with Magpie. I was like, I've got to do this on my own. How am I going to do it? So what I would say first is, if you're teaching on your own, you would preferably have a short tunnel. This is 3 meters. I would say you want a 1 meter tunnel. Now, you can get them for hoopers, not a problem. So you can get that. They are a little bit of money to invest. The other thing I can suggest you do, you can still buy on internet shopping, you can buy what we used to call the shoot tunnel or flat tunnel. Now, they are no longer permissible in Kennel Club competition, but you can still buy them. And they're little blue flimsy things. They're not deer. I think they might be Trixie Mate or something like that, but they're not deer. And the reason you buy these is because when you get it home, you've got all this cloth that you don't want, which is the shoot part, which you don't want your dog going through. But they have a small area of fixed tunnel, like this, with wire in it. It's really tiny. It's probably about that big. Now, before I had proper equipment, I got that. I cut off all the flat part, the bit I didn't want, and I was left with this teeny tiny little tunnel. Now, with that, once it's all stood up and it comes with pegs, what I can now do is I can shape my tunnel, just like I've done all the other stuff you've seen me do. I can be stood here at the side, and I can wait for my dog to show any interest going into the tunnel, and I can drop a treat on the other side. And because it's so short, there's no distance for the dog to go. You know, there's hardly any distance. The dog just goes straight through. So you can do that. If you can get a 1 meter tunnel, excellent. If you get that for your hoopers, do something like that. That's how you want to work on these things. If you really haven't got any of that, you could try using a cardboard box. Get a cardboard box that's fairly tallish, make sure it's open on both ends, and try shaping it with that. It's just what we want is the dog to understand they can go through something that's enclosed. And of course, once they start to get the idea and they're doing that really confidently, then you can move up to bigger tunnels. Now, I would suggest that the next stage is a 3 meter tunnel. Let's face it, most of us doesn't have huge gardens. I am very fortunate to have a field, but I didn't when I started. So a 3 meter tunnel is a good option to fit in most gardens. It's also a nice next stage because it's not too long for the dog to go through. What can happen with a lot of puppies? They don't like the fact they're going out of sight of you. They don't get it. They go in, they turn around, they come out. They don't get it. So that's why if we go with short obstacles, that they don't have to do too much traveling undercover away from you in, then we can build up that confidence. Madam? Now, once you've got that confidence and they're going straight into the tunnel, we're then going to add the word. Now, once we've started adding the word, and this is important, we don't want the dog just offering tunnels. What do I mean by that? When we're shaping the tunnel, we obviously ask, shaping games, you don't say anything, you wait for the dog to offer a behaviour. So they're offering to go through the tunnel and you reward that. Fine. Once we add a word to it, we're taking away the shaping, and what we're then saying is, you only do the tunnel when I've asked for it. Why is this? Because what we don't want is a dog that gets out on a course and just goes, tunnel, 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 I do the tunnel, I do the tunnel. So once we've added the word, if our dog picks up a tunnel and does a tunnel of its own volition without us asking for it, we won't get cross or anything like that, but we won't reward that. We teach them that you only get the reward for the tunnel when I have put the word in there for you to ask you to do it. So it's all about self-control. You can see Swift has been mooching around this tunnel with me while I've been talking, and she's not taken it. Why? Because I haven't asked for it. But now if I ask for it, see what she does. Ready? Tunnel, 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 tunnel. Get it. So she stood there. She's not been diving in and out of it, waiting for a reward, getting obsessed with it. This is the problem people have. They encourage their dog to be obsessive about tunnels. They don't put in the control. Now, she came back through that tunnel on her own, but I'm not rewarding that. She's quite welcome to do that. I'm not worried. I'm not going to get cross about it, but I didn't ask for it. When I ask for it, she gets a reward. Tunnel, 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 tunnel. Good girl, get it. So we're building up that understanding that we're reducing the value in them just taking it on their own, but when I say it and they take it, we put big value in there. So it's just a very simple way of teaching them. There's no crossness, there's no getting angry about it, but I'm just saying, when I say it, if you take the tunnel when I say it, you get a huge reward. If you choose to do it when you're just mooching around, you don't get anything. You know, that's not bad. Now, all my dogs, when they're in the field, mooching around, will regularly run through the tunnels of their own volition. Do I have problems with tunnels when I go out on a course? No. Because when we're on a course and we're doing stuff, they have been taught that when I ask for something and you do it, fine. When I don't ask for it, then you shouldn't be doing that, and there's no value in it for them. So, absolutely fine. Of course, if you're sparrow, sometimes our brain gets a bit confused and we don't always listen to what we're saying, but that's sparrow for you. So bless her heart, you know, sometimes the brain doesn't always kick in between the ears. Good girl, nice. So that's how we're going to start in baby steps, introducing the tunnel, introducing the word for the tunnel, and then we're going to build on that and build up some beautiful drive for this obstacle to really encourage them to power through it and to power out again. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, you might like to subscribe to the YouTube channel, and you can also check us out on Facebook and Instagram, and I hope to see you all again very, very soon.